Welcome to Well, That Didn't Work, a podcast where a bunch of friends get together to pretend to be other people, creatures, and things, doing things that mostly don't work out for them. My name is Percy, and I'm your GM and host, and with me I've got Mike.
Playing Kellenak, who will be struggling with his accent because it's been a little bit.
Jason.
Playing Akrak, who owns the Dire Bee Meadery. Enunciation works.
Right.
Say that 3 times really fast for me, please.
And Rick.
And I will be playing Fendel Melee and hopefully having a good time tonight.
Yeah, I hope you do too. And we're playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. It's been a little while since we've played. I know you've still been hearing all of our great antics with the Mimic and all of those things as we've led up to this recording. But let me give a quick recap to remind the players and remind you guys what just happened.
Yes, please.
So after your encounter at Hop's Spicy Fried Stuff, you went on the lightning rail toward Freehold, I think is the name of it, and is the capital of Ander. And on the train, you encountered a gnome who turned out to be a pretty masterful illusionist and dropped you guys each into your own special scene, first dropping you as a group into an illusion of some wild starscape, and then into your own illusions that you were trapped in until you could get out of them. And Kellenak, you wound up stuck for quite some time being paraded about by the dwarf women in your vision. And it was quite humorous, quite funny. And then Akrak, in a splendid fashion, lit up the entire train car so you guys could see it through your illusion because you couldn't make it out using the Fury Fire spell, which was really cool. And you guys wound up defeating the drow assassin that had attacked the other dwarf on the train, Toma, who you had a little bit of a relationship. You knew a little bit from Gruffbeard's Finest, where you guys are coming from. And as you defeated this drow and questioned him, you saw Quan leave from the caboose of the train holding a bag full of something. You don't know if it was your valuables, somebody else's valuables. You don't know if there was even anything in the bag, but he looked back at you, winked, and vanished.
And that was the gnome.
That was the gnome. Quan is the gnome. And so you are now here on the train. You're probably only 30 minutes out from Freehold, and I can't remember what the timing that I said. I think I might have said it was like 2 weeks to get there on the lightning rail. Really, it's only a few hours. It's the lightning rail. It's the fastest form of travel, and I don't know why my brain was like out of Eberron and thinking real life trains as far as the distance covered, but it's only been a few hours. You were on the train, you met Quan, the illusion probably lasted a couple of hours, and now you're half an hour away from Freehold, and you're with Toma, and you guys are able to kind of calm down, wind down a little bit. You leveled up, so everybody got full HP, so you don't have to worry about any of that. And we covered all of the things that you got in the Level Up episode, which will be on Patreon if you're interested in hearing what it's like to level up a cleric, a druid, and a rogue. Go check it out, listen to it. It's $5 a month to get that bonus content, and we would love for you to be there. But we're not here to talk about Patreon. We're here to play some Dungeons and freaking Dragons. So let's do it. What do you guys do? You're on the train. You have 30 minutes to travel.
So what our mission here is to
become the champions of Gruffbeard's
right.
Finest.
But we're going to Freehold for.
You were told by Hops that's where you needed to go.
Right.
You don't have a mission yet.
Right.
Okay.
We were given a puzzle box.
Yes, you
from
have
the
a puzzle box
from the Mimic, and that we needed to go to Freehold. And once we got there, we would find out more, basically. And the puzzle box, Akrak has kind of sort of been playing with per his nature, just trying to inquisitively find it. And the first thing he did at the end of coming out of the lucid dream, Quan's nightmare, whatever you want to call it, he would make sure that was still on his person. Cause
yeah, and it for sure is. You're good.
There were glyphs on it and things too.
Yeah, it's covered on. It's not a Rubik's Cube, but it looks kind of similar. It's got a puzzle on each side of it, and you'll have to solve all 6 puzzles in order to finish the box. And it's got some, like, I'll go ahead and let you guys in on this. It's got some missing pieces.
Okay.
And you'll kind of hopefully find those as you go.
Right. But I was still messing around with it, trying to play with it and
Yeah.
figure.
So consider that it has 5 missing pieces, 1 on 5 sides. So one side is complete. You finished the puzzle at hops. And that's how you got the puzzle box in the first place. So that side was already done. So essentially think about it like you have 5 steps until you're finished with this puzzle box. And then you don't know what's going to happen.
Right. Okay, and the dwarf from Gruffbeard's finest name is...
Yes, his name is Thomas.
Thomas. Well, Thomas, we're on our way to Freehold. We're striving to be champions.
We're all on our way to Freehold. What about it?
Well, we don't really know for sure why we're going there. We were wondering if you could give us a clue.
Are you asking if I know something about the championship?
Well, to give us any information you might have as to what we should expect there, or should we meet someone?
I cannot give you that information. You've got to find it out yourself. I'm not part of your puzzle.
Oh, I see. So
And
you know about the
right,
puzzle.
Right as you're saying that, he doubles over. One of the cuts that had been healed on him, he's holding it in his side. One of the cuts that the drow had made on his body, he's holding his side right where that cut was and doubled over and is wincing. He's not crying, he's not screaming or anything like that. He's doubled over. It's hurting him enough to stop that conversation.
Arkat, we need you. I believe we need your help here. Arkat, I know you're busy with that puzzle box, but I think he needs some medical attention.
No, I know. I'm just debating. Does he look like he's bleeding out where it would?
No, it's been healed. It's scarred over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Drow weapons have poison. He may have been poisoned.
Yeah. Sadly, I can't help him there.
All right, Thomas, you're going to die.
No.
Sorry, you can't help us with the puzzle.
No, I mean I can attempt some things. It would be a healing check or that, but that's
We'll do
why
a
I was asking
medicine.
the question. Was it more? Is this a cure wound sort of situation or a I need to figure out what's going wrong with him medicine check?
Yeah, I'm going to do a
What do
medicine
you want to do? Like so don't think so much about your character sheet. I see you flipping through the character sheet on your phone. Don't think so much about that. Tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you what check to make.
I'm trying to do a medicine.
So you're gonna go and do medicine. You're gonna try to determine what's going on.
Where's that 20 fake 20 sided?
I'll do a medicine
Was
check.
that a one?
That was
you
a
rolled?
1.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Luckily, there's not.
So you were staring
Critical
into his
fail.
eyes longingly.
Yeah.
That would be a 18 for me.
You got an 18 and
6.
6. All right. So Akrak, you can tell that there's some sort of poison going on. Without opening it back up, there's no way to know what
Right.
is happening.
Right. Okay. Then I will try to, using my medicine skill, I will try to do what best I can. I don't have any magical means by which to cure him, but I can at least try to treat the wound as best I can with a combination of...
So the wound is not open.
Right.
It's closed. It's been cure wounds. So by all intents and purposes, he should be full health. He's a cleric of like really high level. He's like a level 12 cleric.
So
That's
he
true.
he healed himself back to full, and for some reason this is going on. So without cutting him back open, you're not going to be able to tell anything beyond yes, this is poison.
well,
and
that's
it's
why I was going to
originating
use
from space.
medicine as the ability to cut him back open and try to treat... Because I have I can't do it with magical means. I don't have the ability.
I don't think you have the equipment to really do that.
I don't think
I
cutting
don't
him
even
back
think you
open
have a
is a good
knife.
idea.
I think you have a quarterstaff.
I have a dagger, but
Well,
I'm
I
not
have
going to loan
I
it
have a
to
sickle,
you for that.
but that would
You
be...
do have a sickle. You don't want to do surgery with a sickle.
Yes.
I mean, that could be very, very entertaining, but no.
Maybe in a different game at a different time.
Although I do have my talents, and those would be small enough and sharp enough and dexterous.
Well, I don't know about dexterous enough.
Thomas,
It's less dexterity and more intelligence.
Thomas, you are obviously ill. Is there someone in Freehold that we can get you to?
Yes, take me to, and he collapses.
Damn it.
He's unconscious. He's unconscious. So, somebody roll me a knowledge check or a history check, something of that nature. Let me know what you're rolling as well.
Well, they don't really have
Not
knowledge.
Arcana.
Right. Okay. So
So history would be the one, I think,
History. Okay.
or religion.
Okay. Let's find which one works the best. I'm gonna. I guess I'll do history because I'm trying to figure out what I might know about
Gonna
the
re-roll
drow.
that.
Okay,
Did you see how that rolled?
I did not.
Okay, literally, it bounced into the tray, into the D20 slot, with no side facing up. Oh, well. Still doesn't amount to anything.
And for those that don't know, he's got a little box that has a little spot for each of the dice. That's what it bounced back into its home.
Yeah.
All right, so what did you get?
A 6.
A 6, okay, and
I rolled a 17.
Well, there you
17. All right, Findel.
I
It's gonna
found
take
out
me a
that I
second
have
to
toe
find
jam.
out. You find out that you have what?
Toe jam.
And you haven't clipped your toenails in how long? Ever?
I crit failed by banging my head on my
Sorry,
shield.
It's Fairhaven, not Fairhold. Let's go ahead and clear that up real quick.
Fairhaven.
And the place that you're going to go to is actually going to be the Sovereign Ward. So as you find this information, Findel, I'm sure you share it with the group. So the Sovereign Ward is a place in Fairhaven where essentially the Sovereign Host is that their temples are built. So Kellenak, you probably know a little bit about how to speak with them because I believe Dolora is a member of the Sovereign, right?
Yes, he is.
So you have ties already to the Sovereign Hold, so you'll be able to get people in and things like that. So here's kind of the crossroads you'll be at. And we'll say you guys arrive in the city. There's nothing else really to do on the train. He's stable. He's not going to die in this state right now. So you don't have to worry so much about that. There are a couple of checks you could still make if you wanted to, but I think we focused on it long enough. Basically, you're going to have 3 choices to make. You can either go with Toma to the temple. There are plenty of people, when you get to the train station, they will take him there. He is a high up individual. He is a bureaucrat that works for Gruffbeard's Finest. He is valued by Aendair in general, so people will take care of him. You don't have an obligation to travel with him. So you can go with him to do that. You can also begin wandering the city and make checks in order to try to determine where you should go and what you should do. You can make Arcana or Perception checks to do that, to find the information that you wanted to find that will be valuable.
Arcana or Investigate?
Arcana.
Okay.
Arcana or Perception to find... Oh, I would let you make Investigation in lieu of Perception if you wanted to do that. So you can do that, or you can go directly to the capital area of the city, like to the palace area where you think maybe they have some information on where you should be going next. So it's totally up to you at this point. How do you guys want to proceed as a party? And I'll let you guys discuss that as you're pulling into the station. I believe the name of the station is...
KPFT?
No, it's not that. It's like Orion Lightning Rail Station or something like that.
Well, I myself would like to continue. I would like to take Toma to the sanctuary. I think it's important that we stay with him.
Aye, that'd be my first choice.
I would as well. He's a valued member from Gruffbeard's. I think we should stay with him at least to see him through, and then from there we can coordinate as we need to if we want to split up or if we want to use that kind of sort of as a central point.
The collective wisdom at the temple would probably be able to help him far greater than we could.
Oh, that is true, and they might be able to give us some information too.
All right, so you guys want to stick with Toma? So a retinue is there to greet him, and when they find out that he has been in some way injured on the train, they're devastated at first, but then they realize like he's alive. So let's get him to the Sovereign Host, specifically the Temple of ROI. Is where they're headed to. So you guys follow them there. You follow them through the city, and as you travel through the city, even though you're in a retinue of people carrying a dying individual, one of your potentially friends. You see the kind of some sights of the city as you're going through residential areas. You see, I mean, this has capital city written all over it.
So would it have been possible while we were at the train station for at least me to make a quick detour to grab, say, a local map? Would that be possible? I mean, this is the major train station. I would expect like some tourist maps or.
So, maps are still pretty expensive to come by. So if you wanted to grab a map, it would cost you 25 gold.
Oh, geez. Okay. That is expensive.
It's quite expensive. Yeah, because they're still scribed. There's no, like, there are magical ways to do it, but, mages got to get paid too.
Right. No, I get you. I didn't realize it was that expensive,
Yes,
so apologies there.
Aendair prides itself, like this particular country on Corvair, which is the continent you're on, prides itself in its mages and magic. So the artistry and the artwork on maps and things like that you would find in the capital are top notch.
Yeah, they look like enlightened documents. Sort of.
Yes, exactly. Everything, like the hotspots are all like glowing and highlighted with permanent fairy fire, things like that. Like it's extraordinary the way these maps work, and you can even like say the name of an address on the map and it'll light it up. Like they're really great maps, but they're expensive.
Right.
I want one of those maps.
I kind of do.
You got 25 gold?
I kind of do too,
No.
but I don't have that.
I don't
Maybe
have
if you
hardly
pull your
any gold.
resources.
Actually, no. I think I do have that amount of gold because I rolled my gold. But anyway, I think I spent a lot of it.
Yeah. So you guys are going through the city. You see these houses and homes and storefronts. They're very ornate, very colorful. And you see, like, as you pass by a joke shop, there are floating jack-in-the-boxes and things like that to display and advertise what they're selling on the inside. As you pass by the alchemist's workshop, you see glowing vials of neons and matte colors, and he's mixing them together furiously, creating interesting plumes of smoke and things like that. And you pass by fields that are open courtyards of children playing, half of them using magical wands and playing some weird version of what we would call baseball, but with magic. And as you're wandering through Fairhaven, it's just a truly magical place. And you're with this retinue of despondent and depressed individuals as you carry Thomas into the Sovereign Hold. And as you approach the temple of Arawai, you notice that Arawai's shrine and Alandara's shrines are they're the largest, the most ornate, the most beautiful. They're definitely the most celebrated of the deities in Fairhaven specifically. As you approach, a cleric wearing a blue robe lined in gold with an extremely wacky-looking headdress that's basically 3 tendrils of silver intertwining and pretzeling through itself repeatedly over and over and over again, up and then out to form the image of a T on his head. But you can tell that it's an extremely light hat in spite of all the metal on top.
Sir, we need your help. Thomas here is seriously ill. We think he's been poisoned with drow poison.
Drow poison?
Yes, drow poison.
Interesting. And he strokes a very thin goatee. Interesting. Bring him up.
Yes,
we will do what we can. And the cleric welcomes you all inside and offers everybody a cold beverage on this warm afternoon, and takes Thomas into another room to get to work.
Is it like an autumnal mead?
Sure.
Okay.
Apparently, someone's been watching commercials lately.
Is this like I don't know, like
Yes.
Atomic Pumpkin? Would that be a name for it? So he takes Thomas into another room and leaves you in this large vaulted kind of waiting room in the Cathedral of ROI.
Can I go with him, sir?
No, I prefer to do my work with only my coordinated interns.
I see.
The acolytes that follow ROI. Do you follow ROI?
No, sir. Not at this
Then
time,
you
but perhaps you
cannot
could
come into this room.
perhaps impress me. Maybe I would choose to follow.
No, but I am a brother from the Church of the Silver Flame.
Welcome.
It's good to be here. Can you help me, friend?
Is it the Silver Flame or the Sovereign Host?
It's the Silver Flame.
Oh, yeah, those are two different things. So you actually don't have a temple to
Oh.
Dolorat here.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you would still be like sister religions or whatever,
Well-
but the Silver Flame is an offshoot, a different thing entirely. In fact, there is a Silver Flame Cathedral here, but it has been mostly broken down.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, once the last war finished, the Church of the Silver Flame hasn't totally died out in Aendair, but they're smaller pockets.
Right, and it's more of the Templar.
Exactly. So the Silver Flame has a cathedral, but it's a broken down, like it's not used anymore. It's abandoned
Okay.
in this particular city.
Sounds like opportunity.
Potentially. Yes, please wait here. If you would like to wait for Tomar to wake up, you can, but trust me, he will survive. We have healed many worse ailments than what he is showing here.
Well, we perhaps will come back soon. How long do you think this will take?
Oh, a matter of hours, maybe, at most.
Okay.
Would you mind sending a runner to find us? We'll find a local establishment nearby. Probably, what inn could you recommend nearby that where you could find us if the need arises?
The Golden Hoof is quite nice. It's near the market districts.
Sounds like a good place.
Yeah, we'll hoof it over there.
That was a good one.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. If you let me come see you, I can help in that regard.
The puns will keep coming if you let me come in the room.
Open the door. I will. Yes, we will be back in a couple hours. We need to do some investigating around the city. We're here for the championship.
What championship?
Okay. The championship with Gruffbeards. Is there a Gruffbeards in the city?
You are the Gruffbeard's finest contestants. I see. No wonder you were with Tomar. Is he
Yes.
your leader?
No, just a friend.
I see. Okay. Yes. No, Tomar will be quite fine. I think your energy is better spent perhaps somewhere else, but you feel free to stick around as long as you'd like.
Perhaps, but we are concerned about him.
Tell you what. One of our host members, the cleric of Olandara, she is one of the few champions of Freehaven. If you would like to pay her a visit to get some information, perhaps she could assist you.
Yes. What do you think?
Sounds like a good place to start.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
You're incredibly welcome.
You don't have a map we could borrow, do you?
Oh, no. I don't bother with maps. I've been living here since I was an infant.
Yeah, I see.
I know Fairhaven backwards and forwards and under my feet.
I see. Okay.
Also, I'm magic, so I don't...
We noticed a lot of that out here.
Yes. We are quite... are you not from Aendair?
No.
Where are you from? Do you know where you're from?
Across the sea. Actually, no, I would be, I would be from...
Would you be from, like, the continent of Corvair, just
Yes.
somewhere different?
Yes, no, I'm...
So the continent is called Corvair. Aendair is this country.
Right.
Would you be from
I'm
here?
actually from... Yeah, I'm from Aendair.
Okay, cool. Cool. That's all. Just knowing how much your character would naturally know about the culture is important.
Got you.
So great. So he's pointed you to the cleric of Alandara or the Golden Hoof. Where do you guys want to head?
Alendar, I think.
Well, it depends. I guess it
pirate.
depends. Well, I guess a little bit of stage setting. What time is it, and approximately how far would it be, like from a standpoint of time management?
You are in mid-afternoon. It's about 4 p.m.
Okay, so probably the Golden Hoof
Or
would
really
be.
late afternoon, I guess.
Yeah, so the Golden Hoof would probably be the better choice, given the fact that, I mean, I'm sure business hours run pretty standard to like 6 or 7 o'clock, unless you're like going to an eating establishment or like a more event type thing. So I would say, personally, just given the time.
You can also split the party.
That's always fun.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go to the Golden Hoof anyway. We're going to need a place to stay. But if we can go and get information, she may be able to give us, leads that, we can start acting upon
Right,
sooner rather than later.
But again, this whole competition, we do realize that, it takes time to go through and to do things. At least Akrak's whole mentality is playing the patient game, the long game, making the right choice at the right time. So just going in with a fresh set of a fresh head, especially after the combat on the train, even though we don't need the healing, just going in full day's rest, full meal, think about the puzzle a little bit more and make sure we go to the right place.
And what if we're supposed to go pick up, this is a clue, all things have been leading to a certain point. What if, perhaps we should be acting upon this?
The inn will be open all night.
I agree.
I'm for going and talking to this. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name.
You didn't get her name.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's
Alandara
a-
is the deity.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's just a priestess of Alandara. So again, not a lot of context clues to go off of. Hence, why it may be not a bad idea to go in with a fresh start early in the morning. That's just my feeling.
Well, this is like amazing race style. There is an element of speed to it as well.
Agreed, but
And we're just wasting time if we just sit around.
Well, if you want to go get us some rooms, then my friend and I here, we can run over to talk to the priestess.
That's also an option.
so just also real quick, have we solved the first puzzle on the box yet? I think.
Well, the first puzzle was already solved. So there
Okay.
were 6 faces and 1 is already done.
Okay. That wasn't well established last time, so that's
Right. Yeah. Well, that's because I just established that there were even 6 puzzles on it today. So,
true.
based on your extended investigation on the train.
Works for me.
Well, if you want to get us a room.
No, I will be happy to go with y'all. I just, like I said, I'm playing to my nature and my character, so.
No, I completely understand, and it's probably could be a good idea, but I'm not much for sitting around, and if there's a lead to follow, I think we should follow it.
All right. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so we're going to head to the Temple of Alandara.
So you head to the Temple of Alandara. And you open the door and see absolutely nothing. There's no floor. There's no ceiling. There's no people. There are no objects.
It's just
It's
a wall.
a black
Hole?
blackness.
I toss a... do you have light?
Yes.
Yes, you would. Could you light this place up?
So I'm going to cast a cantrip of light into the darkness and see if it gets sucked in or sucked up.
You produce a light on your palm and push it forward into the darkness. And as you do, it lights up kind of veins for a moment in yellow and then vanishes into the dark.
I'm going to have to use it. Okay, so I'm going to tell everybody kind of stand back a little bit, and then I'm going to let out a little prayer. And that's, Blessed be the Lord of the Dawn, Dolora. Grant me the harness of your sunlight and the strength in your wisdom to carry forth your blessings. So what I'm doing is I'm casting my my channel divinity, which is harness sunlight, which will dispel darkness up to 30 feet.
Okay. So how does it look emanating from you or the sky or wherever? What is it looking like?
Emanates from me. It's almost like my shield becomes the sun.
Okay.
His symbol lights up and it just kind of cascades out and lights up the area.
So again, veins begin to appear and they kind of connect to almost show cracks. And you see a darkened figure in the middle of the room kind of light up. These veins lead to this figure meet up with this robed person. It's a humanoid figure, light it up momentarily and then vanish again.
Is it less than 30 feet?
It is not less than 30 feet.
Okay.
Okay, real quick
What the
then.
heck is going on here?
You may need to pull this up because we haven't used it yet. And I have to pick which effect it is. But since I saw this with him, I would like to use my spirit totem, and I'm thinking I need to use the hawk version of this.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we get this right, because I know there's incidental effects based off of what animal I pick for that.
Okay, so the bear spirit would give you and your allies its might and endurance. So you would get, everybody would get temporary hit points equal to 5 plus your druid level. The hawk spirit is a consummate hunter, aiding you and your allies with its keen sight. When a creature makes an attack roll against a target in the spirit's aura, you can use your reaction to grant advantage to that attack roll. In addition, you guys have advantage on wisdom perception checks while in the aura. Or the unicorn spirit lends its protection to those nearby. You and your allies gain advantage on all ability checks made to detect creatures in the spirit's aura. In addition, if you cast a spell using a spell slot that restores hit points to any creature inside or outside of the aura, each creature of your choice in the aura also regains hit points equal to your druid level.
Okay. I couldn't remember which one it was. Then it is the unicorn, the one that I want, because I need to be able to see the creature, because that's what unicorn
And
gets.
how big is the aura?
Well, it gives you advantage to detect creatures.
Right.
That's
It
good.
doesn't let you see them automatically.
Correct. But at least I have the ability to see them better. So I will go ahead and spend my turn. It allows me to within 60 feet. So is it within 60 feet that this creature? You said
It's less than 30 feet.
Cool. Oh, it was less than 30 feet. I thought you said it was more than 30 feet. Sorry, apologies.
Well, if it's less than 30 feet, then I'll just have to bring it back up. That's why I was asking is, if it's a creature, then it takes damage from that cast.
Okay, what kind of damage does it take? Yeah, when you asked for this,
That's why I was wanting
feet.
to make sure, because it was whether it was a thematical effect of just there's light, because it dispels even magical
But this could
darkness.
be a
Gotcha.
prisoner as opposed to the one creating this, too. Keep that in mind. This could be the person we're looking for trapped here.
Well, we get that, but
Well, let's do the.
All right.
What's
So
the
it's a
effect?
wisdom save.
Okay, it's a wisdom save. Great. Okay. What happens now?
Did they save or no?
Yes.
Okay, then they take. Hold on.
we didn't know it, so it doesn't really matter, Rick. I mean, that's kind of
8, 2, 10, 5. 5 points.
5 points of damage.
5 points of damage.
Okay. It doesn't. Nothing moves, and the light vanishes almost as quickly as it showed you this person.
Did we see a floor? What could we tell that there's a floor
you
and a
couldn't
room?
tell.
We couldn't tell anything. Okay, I'm going to. Is there anything loose? Like a big rock or a stick or something that I could pick up? I mean, I could use a dagger if I need to, but
I mean, you can probably find like a small vase of flowers sitting on a windowsill nearby. I mean, you're in like a courtyard that's surrounded by various temples.
okay. I'm going to tie a rope to it and I'm going to toss it in.
Okay, toss it in.
Okay, and does it fall, or does it land, or does it disappear?
The rope falls, but you hear no sound.
Okay, I'm gonna feed rope out slowly just to see what distance it goes.
So as you feed rope out, it just kind of clumps in the ground in front of you.
Okay, so just whatever past the black barrier, that is the range. I would have tossed it at about 10 feet.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
whatever you toss. So basically, as you're feeding rope out, it's not going deeper in. So like you can tell it's not a hole.
Okay, and then
I
pull
imagine that's what you're looking for.
that is. So I
Yeah.
pull it back, and the vase comes back to me,
Mhm.
and
Yeah. Somebody here's played Tomb of Horrors before.
someone here's played a lot of D&D before.
That's right.
I mean, I was gonna cast my spirit totem, so I guess I should go ahead and do that, right?
Yeah. I thought you did. I just took that to mean it's kind of all fluid. We're not in combat situation right now, so you talking about it, I thought you said you did. Like
Well,
the
yeah, I
unicorn
was
spirit.
going to, but
So now it's you three and a unicorn spirit.
yeah. And but do I see the unicorn spirit in the darkness? Do I,
I mean,
have
how far out did you put it?
30 feet away from me?
You don't see it.
Okay.
You know it's there. You're in the aura.
Yeah.
The aura is still affecting you.
Right, because it's a 60 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know this isn't a void zone. You
So-
know it doesn't turn into a hole or eat things. You guys are figuring things out.
Right. So I'm going to stick my arm into the Someone hold on to me here, please. Hold me. Hold me.
Please.
I'll grab the back of his armor.
Okay. And I'm going to stick my arm in. Do I feel anything?
I think you're level 2. I might make you roll an insight to make sure somebody holds on to you.
Why?
Because you just threw something in and it didn't disappear. So why would you tell someone to hold on to you?
Because I'm worried that as soon as I touch this blackness, I'm alive. It's not.
Okay.
Because I'm a living creature, it might affect me differently. Okay, so I stick my hand in there.
Who's holding on to him?
I am.
Roll a strength check. He slips right through your fingertips. You're like,
Dice is done.
I've got you. No, I don't.
I knew I should have tied that rope around my waist.
I was
gonna
say, instead of having someone hold on to you, maybe we should just tie the rope
Well-
around
Well, I
you.
think this is where Kellenek's intelligence dump stat comes right back into play.
Oh, I think you're
and
going to
runs
dive in.
right
Yeah.
on in.
Yeah.
Before I went any farther, I was going to tie off, and then I was going to sneak in there with a rope around me. But okay, so what?
Great, yeah. No,
So
this
I get
is-
sucked in.
Yeah, this is better. Trust me.
Okay.
Than elongating that scene. so you stick your hand in tentatively. You're
Right,
maybe
I'm kind
even
of just
shaking a little
touching
bit.
it. Yeah.
You touch it, and as soon as you do, you see little blackened fingers wrap around your hand really quickly, and with a force that you did not expect, pull you through. So like these are little, like you might even say they were children's fingers, wrap around your hand and yank you with the strength of probably 200 men. Like you could not resist that if you tried. And they pull you through the smoke, and you come into an area that is now bright white all around you. And you're feeling a little bit sticky. And you can tell you're kind of in a cloud.
Okay.
You're no longer touching the ground. You're floating literally inside of a cloud.
Okay. And I would still have the rope in my other hand.
Sure.
And the vase would have been sitting outside. So they would see this, and is the rope, how far in? I guess that's
How
one of the
much rope
questions.
did you feed out?
50 feet.
You fed out all 50
Well,
feet?
no. I fed out, basically, there's a 50-foot,
Yeah,
50
no, I
foot
know,
of rope
But how
sitting
much
at my
was sitting
feet.
on the ground?
50
Okay,
feet.
50 feet. So you go out, and Kellenek, you charged right in as well, right?
Yes, I did.
So you're yanked in, and you see Kellenek burst through, and you go flying, Kellenek. You're going very fast, because kind of as you come into this atmospheric zone, you're not able to slow yourself down. You almost trip on your way in, and suddenly you're floating, going several miles an hour away from Findle. And
Kellenek,
and so
what the heck are you doing here?
and you start
coming after
yanking on
you.
this rope,
I appreciate
and
that.
you see the rope is pulling in very quickly. Do you want to try to grab hold of Kellenek as he zooms by?
Yes.
So go ahead and roll me a dexterity check.
Well, luckily I have a really good dexterity or acrobatics.
Dexterity,
Dexterity,
which you
would
should
be-
still have proficiency in.
I do. So that would be +6. That would be a 10.
10 is good enough for me. Because he was already kind of holding on to you, so your hand was outstretched already. So you grab onto him, and you guys start flying away real fast. Akrak, you see the rope being sucked through this essentially dark room very, very quickly.
I'm gonna use my clawed foot and brace myself against the door. So like I'm gonna try to step on it and just because I can't bend down.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because he spooled it out on the floor.
Yeah. So you're going to try to step on it and brace yourself on the door. That's going to be a strength check with disadvantage.
Okay.
You're trying to use both your feet and your hands to.
Well, because again, trying to bend
Yeah,
down
yeah.
and pick this up.
No, I get why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But the fact is still. The
Oh
fact.
no, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
Which one's the worst one?
It's a 15, and it looks like what, a 13? Is that a 13?
That's what it looks like to me. 13 and a 15. Yeah, so it would be a 13.
Plus,
0.
you have no strength.
I have no strength modifier now.
Okay, great. So you grab the rope, but you don't brace yourself on the door.
Okay.
So it starts to pull you through, and as your lower talon touches the smoke, you're also grabbed by tiny fingertips and yanked through with an unimaginable force.
That's fine.
But at least you're a hold of the ropes, which I have the other end
Yes, you
of.
are holding onto the rope. So good job. You guys are now flying through what looks to be the sky over Fairhaven. So you emerge Kellenak first with Findel attached, and then shortly thereafter Akrak. You guys fly out of this cloud and you look down and you see Fairhaven. You see the lightning rail leaving for its next trip to Thrain. You see the Mages College as they do some sort of demonstration on the rooftops. You see the airship docks with several dozens of airships docked currently and a few taking off toward Breland. And you even see the monstrous towering statue of one of the Zendriki giants that has been displayed.
You're shaking the camera.
One of the Zendriki giants that has been displayed on the western side of town to signify one of the heroic trips of the Aendarian champions. Not just Gruffbeard's finest, but all of the major cities have champions, and they all went to Zendrik and conquered one of the giant holds, and this is a monument to them. You see this statue, a moving piece of stone that looks up at you and looks down. It's almost as if it's watching over the town itself, and you see the hustle and bustle of homes and children and families walking through the streets, as well as the exotic market district in the center of town. And you fly and fly and fly toward the Eldine Reaches.
Hey, can you tell if this is divine or what's going on here?
Somebody roll a religion or an arcana check.
I don't know squat.
Yeah, I second that notion.
Let's make it a clean sweep.
Kellenak, you're saving all your good rolls for combat, aren't you?
I don't know what I'm saving my good rolls for, because they're not here.
It's a good thing you're good at role playing. Dice rolling is secondary.
I mean, I got a 10, but
10 is not going to be enough to tell you anything about what's going on. As you're flying, you seem to exit Fairhaven. Did you want to ask a question, Finn?
I was. We did not encounter this person that was in
No, you didn't.
the center, nothing. Just boom, and all of a sudden we're up in this white cloud.
That's correct.
and we're flying away at pace, or what are...
You guys are going probably, I mean, if you were looking at a D&D sheet, you're going 100 feet per round.
Okay.
You're going very fast.
So, because I have a fly speed, can I try to resist this?
You can try to if you want to.
I will attempt to at least slow our roll, so to speak. Because I'm going to provide aerial resistance to kind of flap backwards, if you will.
Okay. Go for it. Roll a... to resist the wind like that, I would accept Constitution or Strength.
Okay. That is a 10.
10. Okay, luckily you don't resist. You get... one of you guys has surely a passive insight high enough to know that the thing that's keeping you in the air right now is the speed you're going.
Okay.
So if you were to counteract the spell that you're under, you would probably begin to fall.
Wouldn't be much of a problem for me.
No, it wouldn't be much of a problem for Akra.
Well, luckily I am holding onto the rope.
It would be a problem for him because we'd be like drowning people hanging on to the one floating person. You know?
That's right. So you guys are flying toward the Eldine Reaches, and you see down below as the wilderness becomes less like hilly and farmland. Like most of Aendare is gorgeous hilled countryside with wineries dotting here and there and beautiful cities throughout. And as you cross over the border into the Eldine Reaches, you see some of that because this western end of the Eldine Reaches used to belong to Aendare. But quickly you move into a spot that's more dreary and wooded. And you know this area to be owned by elves and druids, and this is probably, Akrak, where your druidic heritage comes from, because there are a lot of druids that live in the Eldian Reaches. And so you guys fly over, and as you're flying through this area, you see large cats and other beasts of fantastic nature, flying fish leaping from the riverbeds and literally flying for several feet before they land back into it. And it's just a continuous magical place. And then you see in the distance, where the sun should be, a dark cloud that's emanating more darkness.
And I guess that's where we're heading.
You are headed in that direction, and you're heading there fast. In fact, you notice that you're picking up speed, and you're going faster and faster, and the darkness is beginning to envelop you. And about the time that you would hit that sun, which you've all but ceased watching the ground at this point, you snap out of your stupor. And you find yourself standing in a marbled cathedral. And in front of you is a beautiful red-haired elven woman, half-elf, looking at you and reading from a book.
What just happened?
She closes the book and says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I really shouldn't read this with company around." And she slips it into her pouch.
What were you reading there, lass?
Don't worry about it right now. You look peckish.
We were just on a trip.
Yeah.
Please come with me.
I don't know.
And she turned.
What just happened?
I'm not sure I want. She has turned and is walking through a large set of double doors. And as she opens them, even slightly, she only opens them far enough for her to slip into the doors. But as she opens them, you see a feasting table set up.
Well, maybe we will follow her.
Yeah, I was already going to follow her no matter what, so...
Okay, great. So you guys follow her into the feasting chamber, and there is food upon food upon food, and it's all freshly cooked and warm and delicious.
I'm going to do an insight check on this lady.
Go for it.
I was going to do an insight check on the food.
And I would roll a 20 to see how genuine, and I would ask her name. What is your name, my lady?
Oh, my name is Sentry.
Sentry, you wouldn't perchance be one of the champions, would you?
That I am. I'm so
see.
glad that you recognize that. Not many people do. I lost the last one. Please, I'm no longer a champion, but I have been.
Once a champion, always a champion.
Yeah, former champion.
Well,
I got
we'll see if you feel that way once you become the champion.
Oh, have you seen something?
A little bit here, a little bit there. We'll see how it shakes out. I don't know the future.
Right.
22 on insight for the food.
It's good.
Okay.
It's good to go. This Alandra, I was saying the name a little bit wrong earlier. Alandra is the deity of feast and plenty.
Okay.
So this is kind of a thing you would expect at her temple.
Still, after that sort of trip,
Yeah, no. It makes sense that you would question it, but
Everything.
not
it's good to go.
everything. I mean,
Well, let's see. We've been in Starry Night. You know.
We mess with the trippy gnome, and now we're in here, and we get some blackness, and then now we get food.
We don't see a funny cat with just a smile, do we?
no.
No. Okay.
I will sit down at the table and just
Do you being pecking at the food?
feeling peckish. Yes. It's been a day.
Now, would I notice if any of the ales or wines are from Gruffbeard's, or they're all?
Oh yeah, you've got a couple of kegs in the corner that are
Okay.
definitely they're stamped with the seal. Most of the ales and stuff come from Gruffbeard's Finest.
Oh.
He's mostly a brewery, but there are a couple of segments of the city that are wineries and
Yeah.
Meaderies.
meaderies and things like that.
liquors,
But for the most part, it's ale and beer and things like that.
Okay.
Him being a dwarf and all,
Exactly.
because Gruffbeard we did know was a dwarf, so that was explained to us.
Yes. So, what brings you to Alandra's temple? We don't really have any clues or anything here.
Well, what could you tell us about the championship? We are, as you know, we're striving to become champions ourselves.
I see. Roll me a history check to kind of ask the right questions.
8.
So that's not enough to really get much information. She tells you about kind of her experience in the championship for Fairhaven, and from the story she tells, it was very different than the experience that you all are having.
Right.
We also ran into a gnome that named Qual. Does that ring a bell? Quan. Does that ring a bell?
No, not to me.
He's a very powerful illusionist. And there was a drow that attacked Toma.
Oh, I don't know anything about illusions.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull out the puzzle box and ask. Hops had directed us here, or at least to the city of Fairhaven, and we're looking for the next puzzle piece. Not that you would know where it is, but if she has any passive insight, so that's what I'm gonna use the puzzle box as an incidental to maybe get an additional clue.
The more you shake your dice, the more you're shaking the camera.
I'm trying.
So you're doing it like this, and it's like shaking your chair and the table, and so you shaking the die for 5 minutes.
Sorry,
is shaking the camera the entire time.
I was not realizing that.
You're good.
I feel a tremor in the force.
Would a 15 get me something?
What were you asking her again?
Using the puzzle box as
okay, like asking her if she knows anything about that. No, but that is quite a May I?
Yeah.
She holds it and looks it over. This is a fascinating piece.
Well,
I don't know anything about it. Tosses it back to you.
Yeah, and I would just mention that we got it from Hops. So
Hops. I may have eaten at his restaurant here in town once or twice, but
oh, he has one here in this town?
of course. Hops is everywhere.
This is true. We should probably go see Hops.
So I'd like to do a persuasion check to see if
Okay.
I can get her to tell me about what book she was just reading.
Great. Okay, go for it.
And that's going to be a 12.
12. Oh, this is just something from the library here. It's just a little prophecy, nothing major.
It just seems odd because even my even the light that the Lord Dara has given me didn't pierce it, which is strange.
Well, because it wasn't really here. And she pulls out the book, and now you see it's brown leather and ornately embossed with silver and gold and different stones. It is an exceptionally well-backed book, and you know these books, as far as like religious establishments are concerned, to be a book of prophecy.
So do I feel my spirit totem? Do I feel my spirit totem coming from the book or the hallway that we left?
I mean, it's from wherever you left it.
So it would have been in the hallway?
Yeah.
Okay.
You would have seen it as you came through.
Well, do these books tend to pull people into them?
I see. You
'Cause
must
we
not
were-
know much about Olandra or the Bards of Prophecy. My entire role here is to speak to the book and allow it to write itself.
So this was something that is going to happen to us, or because we found ourselves flying above
to
Fairhaven?
You, to the world. Usually, we prophesy on our own. In the cathedrals, we don't allow anybody to come in. It's absolutely my foul for leaving the door unlocked. Because people, even I, am not supposed to see the prophecies.
Did you see what we saw?
No. And whatever you saw, please do not tell me. I don't want to know. Whatever you saw was for you. And if Olandra had offered a prophecy to your eyes, then who am I to judge that?
We were jerked in by an incredible force once we touched the darkness.
Then it was certainly no accident.
Was the darkness emanating from you?
Again, I don't know what it looks like when I prophesy.
It looked like black tendrils emanating out from a woman. Now, would
I'm
we
gonna,
recognize?
I'm gonna stop him right there. Like, hey, she doesn't need to know this is about fate and prophecy. Like, to a druid, that's a big deal. So even I would be like, hey, shut up. Like, this is potentially
she won't know anything about
yeah.
anything that you saw.
Did we? But we saw her. Was this the same? The
We
Yeah,
don't-
woman in the
it would have
blackness?
been it
would
would have
be the
been
same-
her. Yeah,
would
your
be her.
insight would probably
Tell us. Okay.
tell you that.
Yeah. You get that much, but again, even the more you start to describe it, even like I would be like, no, stop. This is bad time.
All right. So now you've got another avenue that you could march down. You can go back to the inn and continue trying to find more information on Gruffbeard's Finest Championship. You can march around the city and ask questions.
We can go to the Aldine Reaches.
You can go to the Eldine Reaches. You can seek out what this prophecy might mean by going through a diviner or something like that. But that is all the time we have for today. So, thanks for listening to Well That Didn't Work. This has been a fun episode building the world of Fairhaven, and we hope that you'll join us next week. I'm Percy.
And I'm Mike.
Jason.
Rick.
And we'll see you next time.